No reason for you to get all anxious out there, and then after the show, we'll see what happens. I hear that old piano from down the avenue. I smell the onions, I look around for you. Oh, my sweet, sweet, sweet someone coming through that door. It's Saturday and the band is playing. Honey, could we ask for more? Whoa, whoa. Coming to you live from the Music Shed here at Tanglewood in Lenox, Massachusetts, the summer home of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. It's a live broadcast of A Prairie Home Companion, presented by American Public Media and produced by Prairie Home Productions. Mr. Rich Dworsky here, our music director, at the keyboard of the Steinway, and our fine band here with us, Mr. Larry Kohut back there on the bass, and Jonathan Dresel playing drums tonight. Mr. Chris Siebold playing guitar with us, and here on the mandolin, also the fiddle, Mr. Richard Kriehn. Our radio acting company is with us, Sue Scott, Tim Russell, and our sound effects man, Mr. Fred Newman. Tonight's show brought to you by Viking River Cruises, exploring the world in comfort, offering European cruises on Viking longships. More at vrc.com/radio. And by Lumosity, brain training developed by scientists and game designers who turn scientists into cognitive research tasks by game designers into challenging games of scientists and game. Learn more at lumosity.com. It's a good show tonight. We have from Brooklyn, New York, we have Christine, Daniela, and Nadia, the DiGiallonardo Sisters, are here to sing for you in close harmony. A fine pianist, Broadway music director, Mr. Rob Fisher, is with us tonight. And our duet singer, come down from her home in Maine and from out in the mountains of the great state of New York, Heather Masse is with us as well. And those of you at home, if you want to take a look at what is happening here live on stage tonight, you can always watch via our live video stream at prairiehome.org, just as so many people are doing on their cell phones out there on the grass out there. Oh, so happy to be here with you at Tanglewood. I had just a wonderful, wonderful week this week. I did a crazy thing, and I flew off to Oslo, Norway. I flew off to give a speech at the Midsummer Day, Independence Day festivities in the big garden behind the American ambassador's house there on Nobelgatan in Oslo, to 2,000 Norwegians standing there under the sun. It was just so great. I love Norwegians. They're like Minnesotans in a way. They're kind and they're soft-spoken, and they talk slow so you can interrupt them, you know, and they're funny. You give a speech to these people out there in the sunshine, and you always start off by quoting Mark Twain. You can never ever go wrong by quoting Mark Twain wherever you go. He is the ultimate American, especially to Norwegians, and so you tell them, you say, what would men be without women? Scarce, very scarce. You say, I've had many I've gone through many terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. When I was a boy, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got older, I was astonished at how much he'd learned in just a few years. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence in society. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. Whoa. What I had to tell the Norwegians on Midsummer Independence Day out on the sun was that don't believe what you read about America in the newspapers. America's great gift to the world is comedy, is jokes, songs, stories, and poetry. And I got to quote some Massachusetts poets. I got to quote the one who said, I live in possibility, a finer house than prose, more numerous of windows, superior for doors, of visitors the fairest, for occupation this, the spreading wide my narrow hands to gather paradise. Emily Dickinson wrote. I got to quote a poem by the great poet out on Cape Cod, Mary Oliver, who wrote, "You do not have to be good." She wrote, boy, when you quote Norwegians a poem that begins, "You do not have to be good," they all listen, because that's what they've been trying to do all of their lives. You know, like so many of us, they've been quoting this. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees 100 miles across the desert, repenting of your sins. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving over the mountains, over the landscapes. Meanwhile, the wild geese are heading home again, high in the clean blue sky. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you over and over, harsh and exciting, like the wild geese announcing your place in the family of things. That's what I had to tell them. And then when you've given your speech in Norway, then you walk down among the 2,000 who've been listening to you, and now you listen to them, and they have so much to tell you. These are all young people, and they're smart people. They're all going to college, and they're learning about sustainable fish farming, and they're learning about wind power, and they're learning about alternative this and alternative that, and describing ways of extracting oil that go against everything you thought you knew about oil drilling. And they're talking about insulation of buildings and how much energy you save. They have all these brilliant ideas, and you realize that this small country is way ahead of us in so many ways, way ahead of us. And one of the reasons, and this is now the end of my speech, and I will wind up this speech right now, is that they believe in coalition governments in Norway. You have your election, you give your speeches, you go at each other, you argue, you disagree about all of these things, and then you come together to make things actually work. And the Norwegians have this genius idea that they often put into practice, that you put the politicians who are opposed to the thing in charge of the thing. And the people who've been giving speeches against immigration, you make her the minister of immigration and let her deal with real things and not simply ideas. All right.
Well, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. We're in Tanglewood and I like it like that.
Got the DiGiallonardos, a trio of sisters. When one was gone, all the others missed her. Two are in showbiz and one is a teacher, and close harmony is their big feature.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on.
Mr. Dworsky at the Hammond B3, a master of improv and levity. Play those sharps, he can play them flat with his eyes closed, 'cause he knows where it's at. Heather Masse, you want class, why she is classy. She can sing straight and she can scat, and she's from Maine, so she knows where it's at.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, come on, no, 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 no. Come on, let me show you where it's at. We're in Tanglewood and I like it like that.
Ah, Mr. Rob Fisher, whose talent is rare, is the guy who did Chicago and American in Paris. In botany, he's as good as they come, and he knows the trees that piano's made from. Got a fine band, everyone is a star. Richard Kriehn on the fiddle, Chris Siebold guitar, Larry Kohut on the bass, Jonathan Dresel on drums. Oh, all of them are as good as it comes. Got a beautiful audience to look upon, our je ne sais quoi, our sine qua non. They came to the show from a hither and yon. Now let me just hear you say, come on. Come on, let me show you where it's at.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at.
We're at Tanglewood and
I like it like that.
Well, come on.
Come on, let me show you where it's at.
Come on.
Come on, let me show you where it's at.
Come on.
Come on, let me show you where it's at.
We're in Tanglewood and I like it like that. We're in.
Lenox, Massachusetts, its own place with its own history, this little shtetl here in western Mass. Oh, yes.
What do we put on the table here in Lenox? Feed the little families so they grow up strong. And what goes well in a salad or a soup, or even in a fruit dessert? It's quinoa, quinoa, nutrition, or couscous, or couscous, nutrition.
Nutrition! Here in the village of Lenox, we'd rather keep a balance, huh? Like a pianist on the roof. A balance between fats and carbohydrates. Fiber, protein. A meal with balance. That's what keeps us mindful of God and what He wants of us. He wants us to recycle. And He wants us to send our children to schools that will encourage creativity. Creativity! Ay, ay, ay.
What do all our children hope they will become? A banker? No. A doctor? No. What do all our children hope to become? To work for nothing and no health benefits. Writers, artists, musicians. That is our children's ambition.
And so, here in Lenox, we expect that our children will be living with us for many years to come. We will be paying their insurance premiums, lending them money. And when they say, "Is it okay if my boyfriend Mark comes and lives here too?" He makes documentary videos. We say, of course, whatever.
And so our life goes on, and it's not how we had planned. We are getting older, still living mouth to hand, and the son is writing novels, and the daughter's in a band called Acid Apostles, and she owes us 30 grand. In Lenox, whatever, genetics, forever.
That's where we are. We're in Lenox, Massachusetts. This first half hour of our show is brought to us by a very special guest, and here's a message from him.
Okay. When it comes to earning money, okay, trust me, I am very, very, very smart, okay? I'm the smartest at money. And now I'm passing my secrets of wealth on to you, and I guarantee you this is going to be the best decision that you ever made to enroll in my 4-week course, okay? The Art of the Trumpet. Believe me, there's no need for musical talent whatsoever. I can teach you what you need to know in just 4 easy lessons, okay? Number 1, blow very, very hard. Number 2, blow even harder. Number 3, and you got to pay attention before people will listen to what you have to say. So, number 4, blow even harder, okay? Now, people may hate it, you know, they may yell at you to stop because maybe they think you're nuts, I don't know, maybe you're not. But believe me, there's no better way to get attention, and that's how I got to where I am now, okay? I must tell you, the Republican Party was like this, I don't know, little old lady in a blue knit dress. I walked up behind her, I put the trumpet right up to her ear, and then I...
Oh, heavens! Oh!
She crapped in her pants, okay? It's true, it's true. And now, here I am, I'm the nominee. I beat them all, Lion Ted, Little Marco, Basic, Kasich, you know, Pushover Bush. They stood up, they acted about the foreign policy, the economics, conservative principles, whatever. And I just went, I blew them all away, okay? So, order the Art of the Trumpet today, and you'll get 10% off any of my Donald Trump heirloom automobiles, okay? And believe me, these are not the used cars. These are the heirloom cars from 50 years ago when America was great, okay? We made great cars like this 1947 Dodge right here. I mean, this is absolutely a steal at 157 thou, okay? And with your 10% discount, you get it for $152K, or I don't know, something like that, okay? And I'm going to toss in 15 pounds of my Donald Trump signature buffalo steaks as well. How about that, okay? You're never going to find buffalo steaks like these anywhere else, and each and every buffalo steak comes with 10 pounds of buffalo chips, okay? Delicious. The Art of the Trumpet, plus an heirloom car, plus the buffalo steaks. Those are the chips. Be a winner. I guarantee you're never going to find a deal like this anywhere else. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Donald Trump, our sponsor in this first half hour of our show. We have a good show for you today. We've got 3-part close female harmony. We have Guy Noir, Private Eye coming up. We've got the great band with us. Heather Masse going to sing. We've got some great songs. And we have 1 piano, 4 hands people right here on our stage. Rob Fisher, Mr. Rich Dworsky. Swan at piano, 4 hands. Mr. Dworsky, Mr. Fisher at the piano. That was gorgeous. All right, I promised you 3-part close female harmony. Let me just mention first, Mr. Rob Fisher tonight playing on our show 3 days after eye surgery that left his left eye seeing like a kaleidoscope and the right eye not seeing much of anything. Our man, what a trooper.
Amazing.
All right. The DiGiallonardo Sisters. What you going to do for us, Nadia?
We're going to sing a song by Billy Joel called You Were the One.
Billy Joel. He's from down there. You grew up with him.
That's right.
Right, really? Really? He was long past my time.
He's our paisan, as you might say.
Wow. So you've been to see him at Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
He fills that place with people unlike myself. Is it too late for me to catch on to Billy Joel?
Never too late.
Never too late. Okay, I'm going to listen very, very closely.
Start
now.
with this one.
Here I am again in this smoky place with my brandy eyes. I'm talking to myself. You were the one, you were the one. Here I go again looking for your face, and I realize that I should look for someone else, but you were the one, you were the one. I'm looking for comfort that I can take from someone else, but after all, I know there is no one that can save me from myself. You were the only one. You were the one. I'm looking for comfort that I can take from someone else, but after all, I know there is no one that can save me from myself. You were the only one.
I never had any idea that a balding guy with a 2 days growth of beard would write a song as beautiful as that. That's absolutely wonderful. I flew to Oslo by way of Amsterdam this week, and I noticed in both of these airports that there was no announcement over the public address system that if a stranger walks up to you and asks you to carry something aboard an aircraft, you should report this to the authorities. Made me very nervous that people were not on the alert for those wily strangers slipping something in on you. So I wrote this song. As one would, of course. At the airport, I'm waiting for a man with a foreign object in his hand, perhaps a toothpaste or a soda can, and try to place it in my briefcase. Some man in turban and a white caftan, someone from Iraq or I ran. And I see him behave suspiciously, but it could be someone next to me. Yes, I am keeping a close watch on you. There's a peculiar bulge in your left shoe, and suspicious things I've seen you do, talking on the phone in a secretive tone. Oh yes, I'm watching you very close, my dear, though we've been married many years. That cold, dry feeling when you kissed me last night, said terrorist. I heard you talking, darling, in your sleep, and it sounded like Arabic to me. Where were you Tuesday night last week? Or were you gone for Ramadan? You wear that scarf on your head in a strange way, and you served me some hummus yesterday. Are you signaling that man in the cafe? Call TSA. Take her away. This first half hour of our show brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits in the big blue box with a picture of the biscuit on the cover. Heavens, they're tasty and expeditious, give shy persons the strength to get up and do what needs to be done. Has your family tried them powder mill? Has your family tried them powder mill? Well, if your family's tried them all, you know you're satisfied them. Raw, clear eyed and powder mill. Oh. Tall woman. We get to sing a duet later?
We do.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Sing this one yourself. I love this song.
Okay.
I'll listen to it.
The very thought of you makes my heart sing like an April breeze on the wings of spring, and you appear in all your splendor, my one and only love. The shadows fall and spread their mystic charms in the hush of light. While you're in my arms, I feel your lips so warm and tender, my one and only love. The touch of your hand is like heaven, oh heaven that I tells me that you are my own. You fill my eager heart with such desire. Every kiss you give sets my soul on fire. I give myself in sweet surrender. My one and only love. You fill my eager heart with such desire. Every kiss you give sets my soul on fire. I give myself in sweet surrender. My one and only love. My one and
Miss Heather Masse. Heather Masse.
A dark night in a city that knows how to keep its secrets. But one man is trying to find the answers to life's persistent questions. Guy Noir, Private Eye.
This was a few years ago. I believe it was back at the end of June, around 2013. I was in Lenox, Massachusetts. I was at Tanglewood. I was at a concert there.
Pinot Noir here, with very long, muscular finish with hints of marigold and halibut. Pinot
And I
Noir.
ran into this singer named Charlene Chicopee, who asked me to invest $1 million in a musical about Emily Dickinson.
Mr. Noir, this musical has hit written all over it. See? Hit.
Right.
So if you want to earn a truckload of dough in a big hurry and get to hang out with glamorous people at the same time, here it is. Well, have you read the libretto?
I have, yes, and I'm sorry, but I don't know. I think it needs work.
No,
or
well,
something.
it's a powerful story.
Right.
A great American poet secluded in her bedroom, and she falls in love with an editor who wants her to publish her poems. It's got everything a musical needs: lesbian love, literary greatness, and Unitarianism.
Well, I don't know. I just don't think the musicals about an editor do all that well.
What, you don't like the big number about punctuation?
I don't, no. Comma, down, doobie, doo-wah, period. I don't know, it's not a showstopper.
Well, I think you're wrong. Well, anyway, think about it. And if you want to hear some songs, come to rehearsal later.
All right. Oh, wow. Charlene Chicopee. I knew I was a fool, but I just couldn't take my eyes off her front teeth. Those upper incisors just had me in their spell. Anyway, there I was at Tanglewood at the rehearsal of the musical Emily.
Oh, this is the big, passionate love number in which Emily faces the fact that she's gay, and she's in love with Ralph Waldo Emerson's daughter, Karen.
Okay.
I'm Marian, a Unitarian. I am in love, I guess, with a plain black dress. I love my minister, Miss Unitarian. Karen, I can't help it. She's a wonderful copy editor, and she knows about punctuation, and she's in love with me, Karen, my Unitarian. She is in love with me, poetry, and she's a very strict disciplinarian, Unitarian.
Right.
Well, anyway, there's
yeah.
more. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the song sounds familiar somehow to me. It's,
Well, wait, it's the quality of great music. It
Oh.
feels familiar right away.
okay. Does Emily, by any chance, go on to become a vegetarian?
Well, yes. How did you know?
And does she become pregnant?
Yes, by a poet, a Bulgarian.
Oh, sure.
And she has the baby by cesarean, delivered by a veterinarian.
You know, it sounds like a great story, but I don't know.
But she gets pregnant one night when she gets very drunk.
What? Emily Dickinson gets drunk?
Yep. I feel nauseous. I feel nauseous. I feel nauseous and cautious, and I think that scotch is maybe not a drink I need to try. I am reeling, simply reeling. I am feeling the ceiling go round, and so nauseous that I don't think I can keep it down. Seamless Emily lying on the floor. Isn't that the Dickinson girl? Is she gonna puke? Is she gonna york? Is she gonna heave? Is she gonna hurl? I am Emily from a family that only sips claret and port, and I'm thinking, however did I drink a quart?
Oh, I don't know. What? Yeah? What were you going to say?
Hi, Mr. Noir. I am the composer.
Oh, you're the
I'm
composer.
of that
Okay.
song. My name is Maria Mascarpone.
Okay.
You've got to hear Rachel's big song at the end of Act 2.
This is Rachel. Okay.
You owe it to the world to share your poetry. It's truthful, and the lines leap and dance. And your investments have gone in the toilet, Miss E. And the publisher offers an advance so big you will whack your pants.
I don't know. So anyway, does Emily, she agrees to publish her poems?
She
Anyway.
does, but only because her hockey team needs new uniforms.
Oh, I see. Who are you?
I'm Desiree Dumont. I'm the librettist.
I'm the librettist, okay.
Her hockey team is the Amherst Bratwursts, and they need jerseys and helmets.
Oh, so this is ice hockey.
Right. We think it gives the work an interesting twist.
Oh.
1 minute she's in her bedroom writing poems on tiny scraps of paper, and the next she's skating across the stage and banging heads with the opposition and being penalized for tripping.
I'm a poet and a recluse. At least that's what people think. That's because they never saw me leave blood all over the hockey rink. You see savagery, you say, can it be Emily? Emily, yes it is Emily, Emily.
I see. So ice hockey is what inspires Emily Dickinson to go off and join General Grant's army for the Battle of Antietam, then, right?
And that's when Rachel breaks up with her. She's a pacifist.
Oh, of course. So Emily disguises herself as a man, if I read the libretto right, and she rides away on a horse and she joins the army for the battle, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm done with writing poetry and living in my head. I want to fight the enemy and blow them full of lead. I wasted many years writing poems in my room. I want to hear the guns go boom. Glory to John Philip Sousa. I refuse to be a loser. No more poetry, I'm in the infantry, and I want to wallop Robert E. Lee. Pow!
Oh, all right. So then she comes back to Amherst, if I'm reading this right, and she marries Thomas Higginson.
Yes,
right?
she's riding her bike.
Riding her bike.
Because I could not stop for death, I ran into a tree and looked up when I smelled your breath, and you gazed down at me. There was a bee, I heard it buzz, and then a field of dew, and then eternity, which was a great big bore, it's true.
Oh, I knew it was a mistake. I knew I was a fool when I said yes. I mean, the story just didn't hang together. You had a lesbian love affair leading to ice skating, leading to a civil war with horses, and they spent way too much money on costumes and not enough on rewrite. But whenever Miss Chicopee smiled at me, I saw those teeth. I was helpless. Anyway, Emily went to Broadway. It had 3 previews, had an opening night, and the critics stomped on it hard. So, as I was saying, I was in Lenox, Mass. a couple years ago after Emily closed, and I went to Tanglewood for another concert. And
Black, I got your Sauvignon Blanc, very toasty and buttery with a hint of melon and vanilla.
And who should I see but Miss Chicopee.
Oh, hi, Guy.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I haven't seen you in a while.
Boy, right. What you up to there?
Well, I have a chance to invest in something.
Oh, boy. Another musical?
Well,
What?
yes, but it's brilliant.
Oh.
It's a hip-hop musical about the founding fathers.
So what, they're looking for investors?
Right.
Huh?
Well, I've got the chance to invest $50 grand, but, you know, I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
But if you want to front the dough...
Well, what's the name of it?
It's called Hamilton.
Oh, jeez. Musicals about secretaries of the Treasury, they just never pan out on Broadway, huh?
I don't know. I think it could be big.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh.
Wow. You don't want to get in?
No, I don't think so. That was 2 years ago, and what I heard is that she got this bass player named Larry Kohut to put up the 50 grand, and now they're living in a 14-bedroom mansion in Lenox, and they're regulars in the fox hunt. Where a bass player comes up with 50 grand, I got no idea whatsoever.
I earned it playing bass solos. Check it out.
Really?
So I recorded this basic bass solo. It's about 6.5 minutes long. And the thing is, it fits under any song the band plays. So during the solo, as the tape's playing, I walk around the room as people are listening. I lift their billfolds, look into their purses, jacket pockets, and in the course of a 6-minute solo, I can do between 500 and a couple of grand, and nobody even notices. And when the bass solo's done, people are so grateful they don't even notice they're missing their money.
Well,
It started out as a business relationship, Larry and me, and then the money rolled in, and I just fell in love. We took up fox hunting, and there's just something so reliable about bass players. Well, I had dated singers and actors and dancers, but Larry was different. So steady.
I love it when you say that.
So steady.
I lost a lot of money, but not everything, so I'm retiring. I found a job as a parking supervisor at Tanglewood, and recently Larry's been talking about an idea that he has.
Yeah, you know, there's never been a Broadway musical about a bass player.
You know, I think you're right, Larry, yes.
Yeah, well, I call it Mingus.
Mingus, that's a nice title.
Yeah, Mingus, the musical.
Really, really. Well, good luck with that.
Here, check out the overture.
Yeah? Uh-huh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
You want to hear more?
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
I think $1 million from you, and we're in business.
I like the music, I really do. It's,
Well,
yeah.
get in line. I got a lot of anxious people waiting to invest. Don't
Okay.
wait too long.
All right, I won't wait too long.
A dark night in a city that knows how to keep its secrets. But one man is still trying to find the answers to life's persistent questions. Guy Noir, Private Eye.
A show coming to you from Tanglewood, the summer home of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, since back in 1937. They came out here and they pitched a big circus tent and gave a concert out here. Then there was a thunderstorm and they decided to build this shed. This shed was not designed by acousticians. It was designed by engineers, people who had built potato barns. And it's a beautiful sound under their big shed with 5,000 seats. under it. I tell you, if you've got European friends and you want to show them America, people, this is the part of America you want to bring them to first if they've never seen anything else. There's Western Massachusetts. Leave Oklahoma and Texas for later and bring them to these beautiful little towns. Lenox, there's no more pretty town in all of America. This is gorgeous. And on a summer night, Stockbridge, where Norman Rockwell had his studio, and there are a lot of people still walking the streets of Stockbridge who were models for Norman Rockwell when they were small children. So that's always of interest. Herman Melville lived near here in Pittsfield, where he started work on Moby Dick. He was looking at a mountain, and it reminded him of a whale coming up from the deep, and so that got him started on America's greatest unread novel, Moby Dick. He was encouraged by Nathaniel Hawthorne, who was his friend until Hawthorne's novel, The Scarlet Letter, was a huge commercial success, and Moby Dick did not sell at all, and so Melville moved away to New York, and they kind of split up a little bit. Norman Rockwell, as I say, had his studio over in Stockbridge, and you can tell all of this to your European friends as you show them around this gorgeous, gorgeous countryside and bring them here to Tanglewood. You'll have a wonderful time. Edith Wharton, her big summer house mansion, The Mount, is near here, where she wrote every morning in bed. She wrote longhand and then she just tossed the papers out onto the rug and left it to her maid to put them back in order, which is why some of her novels read a little not quite right. But she worked there in her garden. She was very happy here, even though she was unhappily married. But nonetheless, the countryside made up for it. And she loved to go on drives around these beautiful country roads that are still here. She drove this 1905 Pope Hartford motor car. She went for drives with her good friend Henry James, who was a prickly guy, had very few friends because he talked too much and always about himself. But he was terrified in the front seat of Edith's car. And so he was very quiet, and they had wonderful times driving around. Here's our piano four hands duo, Mr. Fisher and Mr. Dworsky, and a little tune in honor of Edith Wharton and her beautiful house. Our show comes to you from Tanglewood under the shed here in the Berkshires of western Massachusetts, the state that sounds like a sneeze here in the Berkshires. Berkshires are, I mean, as an outsider, I use the plural, but to the native, the Berkshires is singular. Anyway, it's a place where people can look at you here and they can see if at one time you did have long hair and if you have strong opinions about genetically modified yogurt and if you have Lyme disease, all of which qualifies you as a native Berkshireite. That plus driving a Subaru Outback is just about all that you would need. And if you keep your house cool, I'd say about 55 degrees in the winter, this is a native custom. And if you do not eat big, round, red tomatoes, you eat those yellowish, purplish, kind of odd-shaped heirloom tomatoes. Why? Because they are. They're heirloom, and we respect the word heirloom. There's a bonus if you pay for your organic, gluten-free, sustainable kimchi with a Berkshire. They have their own currency here, their own paper currency. They have a Mohican on the $1 bill and Herman Melville on the $20 bill. And it's especially good if you are in the arts, if you can say that you are in the arts. It is politically incorrect to use the term politically correct here in the Berkshires, or even to think about this. You should not be too ironed. I did not iron my jacket here today for that very reason. Your cape, your windbreaker, you do not iron these things. It gives the wrong impression. And here in the Berkshires, people often order an extra meal so that there's more to compost, because they love composting. GPS will not help you in this part of the country. Most of this area is off the grid. There is no grid at all. Siri is just going to say, I'm sorry, the route cannot be calculated, okay? People here are proud of poor cell phone reception. The proudest thing you can say in the Berkshires is, you know, we don't get TV signals here at all. Haven't watched TV in years. A little song about it.
Going to the Berkshires and we're going to recycle our sustainable Ornick Bernie Sanders t-shirt, which we'll use for compost to raise heirloom tomatoes. And we wish you peace, joy, and love. Going up to Lenox, Stockbridge, Great Barrington, and Pittsfield, going to be mindful of the sacred environment and try to actualize our own self-image and make a batch of gluten-free kimchi. I love to compost and recycle stuff. When I do, I always feel spiritually richer, and I walk my dog who is differently abled, and I'd love to be transgendered if I could. In the woods I've had good times. That is where I got Lyme's disease, which at first I thought was bad, but now it's simply a different way to see.
That's all there is to say about that. Oh, we got time for one more song here before we let these people go for an intermission. Come on up here, boys. DiGiallonardo's Heather Masse.
Well, your love,
It's the lifting me, lifting me higher and higher.
But your love
keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me,
keeps on
lifting me higher and higher, higher.
Yeah, once I was downhearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. But you came and he soon departed, and he never passed this way again. I said your love
keeps lifting me,
keeps on lifting,
keeps on lifting me,
higher,
lifting me higher and higher,
higher. Your love
keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me,
keeps on
lifting me higher and higher, higher.
I went to Oslo for a party, and it was midsummer night. 3 in the morning, and the sky was aglow in a Norwegian paradise of light.
I said your
love keeps lifting me,
keeps on lifting,
keeps on lifting me,
higher,
lifting me higher and higher,
higher.
Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me,
keeps on
lifting me higher and higher, higher.
A thousand Norwegians standing out there in the park, singing up to the sky. And there I stood, an American man in a crowd, feeling higher, higher than high.
Standing outdoors at Tanglewood with a big crowd all along, where I feel my worries disappear and all of my troubles are gone.
I said your love
keeps lifting me,
keeps on lifting,
keeps on lifting me,
higher,
lifting me higher and higher.
I said your love
keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me,
keeps on
lifting me higher and higher, higher.
I said your love
keeps lifting me,
keeps on lifting,
keeps on lifting me,
higher,
lifting me higher and higher.
I said your love
keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me,
keeps on
lifting me higher,
We're going to pause now for a brief intermission, and then we'll be back to the second half of our show. Coming to you on a beautiful summer day. Big crowd out on the lawn and here under the shed at the Koussevitzky Music Pavilion at Tanglewood in Lenox, Massachusetts. Welcome back to the second half of our live show. Such a great crowd. It's milling around here, people looking at each other, seeing who else is here. I want to say hello to Francois. Hey, bartender. Wish that you were here. And a big shout out from Keith to the Thirsty Philosophers meeting in Phoenixville, PA. And special thanks to Beth with the long red hair, and to Kylie, Becca, and Aaron. Love from your mom and your dad. And hello to my Sound Community Services family, MIRP. 63 years ago today, that Barb and Ray Hand were married in Paris. Air Force veterans, happy anniversary, happy 50th anniversary to Karen and to Chip. Mark says hello to his lovely wife, Debbie, who is recovering from knee surgery. And Chris Gregory says hello to Joey, Loretta, and everyone at Framingham State University. Alice in Oregon and Richard in Las Vegas wish that you were here. And hello to Alice and Tom and the Pet Pinecone. Hope you made it to Oregon. Hello to Grandma Joe Crocker in Westminster West in Vermont, and to Paul in Suffolk, Virginia, recovering from back surgery. Get better soon. Miko and Vivian Abram, hello to you, and happy birthday to Jenbo, 42 years, and haiku. There's a little haiku there. Read that to me. Save that for my haiku collection. Hello to Joanne, who met him at Harkness Park, 4th of July picnic 6 years ago, and her life has not been the same since. I'm sure he knows who he is. Hang on, Finn, Mo, and Bebo are at Tanglewood, but we'll be up to see you tomorrow. And hello to Mo and Bebo as well, and to them, and happy 60th anniversary to Grampy Bear and to Grammy Mouse. Hello to Ginger, singing harmonies with you. Makes me feel younger every day, says James. To JB and Marcille, we're all right. You be careful, your loving daughter and son-in-law, Dave, Rebecca, and Victoria. Hello from Spiff and from Ginky. And thank you for bringing us here. To Sarah Bellum, thank you. I'll pass this on to her, and she'll be so pleased to hear that. Happy 40th wedding anniversary to Regina and Tony. Love from Atlanta. Happy 57th anniversary to Grandma Phyllis and to Grandpa Ed. We miss you, John. Say Susan and Al. P.S. Sorry about the Brexit. Thank you. So Susan and Al, they're here from Albany, New York. Hello to the kids from Mom and Dad. Dad fell off the ladder and broke 3 ribs, but we are still here. What? Don't worry about us. Well, we are worried about you, of course. How can we help but be? Hello to Lydia and to Nick and to Michaela. Love from Joe. Happy anniversary to Dr. Doolittle in Boston. Hello to David and Laura in Charleston, South Carolina. Thanks for taking our kids this summer. We'll see you when we see you. What a deal. How do you ever work that out? Hello to Stretch in Salem, Mass. Happy 89th birthday. Happy 10th anniversary to our mom and dad from Andrew, who is here. Congratulations to Sam on your graduation from Boston College, and a happy 100th birthday on the 5th to my dad, Master Sergeant Thomas Ewing, veteran of World War II and Korea, now a resident of Maine Veterans Home in Scarborough, Maine. Hello to Lauren in Greenfield. You'll be making 80 years look like 50. And to Dr. Cynthia, we love you. You are in our hearts from your Norsky cousins. And dear Aunt Bet, happy 100th birthday from Myra and from Bill. Happy birthday to Mom. You're only 81 once, so make it count. And here's a note from Riley. I've been coming here for 11 years, and you've never read my message. This is your last chance. I'm going to save that message forever, Riley. You touched my heart. And a happy 69th birthday to Nancy in Nashville from Mark and from Susan. Hey, Heather Masse, you said you were going to sing a duet with me.
I did.
Come on up here and sing a duet with me here.
saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. I love you more than ever, and that's no lie.
I've been with you now for all these years, and how can a man walk away? I love this house and this old back porch. It grieves me more than I can say. Oh, we sat and we talked on this old couch and shared a glass of wine. You poured out your heart to me, and I have poured out mine.
Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. I love you more than ever, and that's no lie.
Why does a man leave the one he loves? Because he has heard the call. And the voice says time is running short, and there's work to be done before fall. I wanna hold you one last time, and then I will fade away. Remember me as I used to be, back in my younger days.
Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. I love you more than ever, and that's no lie.
Got to see the folks in my old hometown, the ghosts of my uncles and aunts. Sit in the grass of the old churchyard at the grave of an old romance.
Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. Oh, babe, I'm saying goodbye. I love you more than ever, and that's no lie. I love you more than ever, and that's no lie.
Now, I was promised a song by the DiGiallonardo Sisters about pie. This is from a musical that Nadia's involved with. She sits and plays the piano on stage. You can go see this, called Waitresses, which is a wonderful musical. Especially if you like to see men beat up on stage.
That's right.
So I see men abused and mistreated. That's your cup of tea or your piece of pie. And pie figures in. There's some wonderful pie baking scenes, and the star lifts a big cup of flour way up, and you see
That's right. She blows flour into the air and pours
she does
sugar
wonderful
from
things.
way up high.
You just never see enough cooking in a Broadway musical.
No, and you smell the pies in the theater as well.
Yes, I noticed that.
And then
How
you
do they
eat
do
a pie,
that?
and then you ate pie at the theater.
I did. Of
You
course
got
I
sucked
did.
into the magic.
So this is the song about.
This is a song where Jenna, Becky, and Dawn, the three waitresses, are baking a pie together. They're baking a meet your dream chocolate cream pie. Sugar, sugar, butter, flour. Sometimes I still see her, my mother, the dreamer. She'd say nothing's impossible, child. A dream needs believing to taste like the real thing, like some stranger you recognize. So pure, so electric, so sure, so connected to those little believers inside. May we all be so lucky. But dreams are elusive, the kind we've gotten used to. There's nothing I can feel, nothing I can hold, nothing I can hide, nothing that I know. Dreams come and they go, but hold them and keep them, but hold them and keep them, and know that you need them, and know that you need when your breaking point's all that you have. A dream is a soft place to land. May we all be so lucky. Sugar, butter, flour.
The DiGiallonardo Sisters, song from the musical Waitresses, going strong on Broadway. So it was a big surprise, maybe, to most of us, the vote in Britain on Thursday. They voted to leave the European Union. But it has its good side, too. You have to look at it that way. It kind of opens the door for the Berkshires, Vermont, and upstate New York to at last form a kingdom here and not be subservient to an elite from New York City and Washington, D.C., people who do not share your beliefs, do they? I don't believe so. No, not at all. No. What good has it done for this part of the country, to this mountain kingdom to be under the thumb with Southerners? I mean, what do they have in common with you? Texas, nothing. Arizona, nothing. So let us rid ourselves of these outsiders who do not understand us and who are infiltrating our towns up here in the Northeast Kingdom and corrupting our children and bringing in their values. And some people think that this new state should be called the Northeast Kingdom. I say that those people are crazy, they're nuts, and they ought to go to Canada. I think we have the perfect name for it, and it's called the Kingdom of Berkshire. Long live the Kingdom of Berkshire, the land of the beautiful and true, where we the people have the power, and we are finally getting rid of you. You are alien, weird, and abnormal, and we have decided what to do. We have read you out of the Union. Hooray for the white and the blue. Hooray for the white and the blue. Hooray! Hooray for the white and the blue. Liberty and tolerance forever, but that does not include you.
Okay, excuse me. Listen to me now. I must tell you, I think what you're doing is exactly right, okay? And I'm on your side. Listen, when I'm elected president, I'm going to fight for you and take your voice to Washington. And on day one of my presidency, we're going to have a national referendum on the Supreme Court and whether 8 men should have the power to decide things for 300 million people. Am I right? What? What is it? Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Excuse me. I was politically incorrect. Okay. 5 men and 3 women. Okay. Does that make you happy, you dumb broad? I mean, you know, some of them are broad, and I'm sure some of them are narrow. But anyway, we're going to have a national referendum on the term of the office of the president, okay? Why should it be only 4 years? I mean, if the people want a guy for president, why not for the rest of his life, okay? I mean, no, it's just like the Supreme Court, a supreme leader, okay? If that's what we want, I say, let's do it. That's my philosophy. Okay, thank you.
Long live the Kingdom of Berkshire, the land of the beautiful and true, where there is no dissent and acrimony. We're united in one point of view. So pack your bags if you're not with us. We're happy to bid you adieu. You don't belong here and you know it. And hooray for the white and the blue. Hooray for the white and the blue. Hooray! Hooray for the white and the blue. The Kingdom of Berkshire forever. Hooray for the white and the blue. Hooray! Secession. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful song by a great Irish singer, songwriter. Why does his name now escape me?
Van.
Van Morrison,
Yeah.
of course. Right. Van, I was thinking Otto. Otto Morrison. Who's Otto Morrison? I have no idea.
Sure.
Van Morrison wrote this song.
These are the days of the endless summer. These are the days, the time is now. There is no past, there is only future. There's only here, there's only now. Your smiling face, your gracious presence, the fires of spring are kindling bright. Oh, the radiant heart and the song of glory, crying freedom in the night. These are the days of the sparkling river, His timely grace and our treasure find. Well, this is the love of the grand magician. Turn the water into wine. These are the days of the endless dancing and the long walks on the summer night. These are the days of the true romancing, when I'm holding you oh so tight. These are the days of the sparkling river, the timely grace and our treasure find. Well, this is the love of the great magician. Turn the water into wine. These are the days we must savor, and we must enjoy as we can. These are the days that will last forever. You've got to hold them in your heart. La 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 la. These are the days. Oh la 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 la. Ooh la la la. These are the days.
Oh, this is the day. Heather Masse, Chris Siebold playing guitar here. Well, it's been a quiet week in Lake Wobegon, Minnesota, my hometown, out there on the edge of the prairie. And so beautiful, what a beautiful week of summer, and this green all around us, and this blue sky, and these big white puffy clouds, like a picture that you would have made in the 4th grade with your crayons and been so proud of. Pastor Liz from the Lutheran Church was gone all week, gone with a group of Lutheran teenagers that she takes up on the wilderness canoe trip up to the Boundary Waters canoe. 12 days they go up there. It's a trip that the pastor has to make every year. Her predecessor, Pastor Inkvist, looked on this as a great tribulation, and he hated this trip, and she loves it. She just loves to go off with these young people. For one thing, she's got a good air mattress. And for another thing, she's not shy about moving her bowels out in the woods. One of the kids said, "Aren't you afraid that somebody's going to see you?" She said, "If somebody wants to see me, that's going to be their problem. That's not my problem whatsoever." And now she loves being with these kids, and she has this ability to become invisible so that they can be themselves. And she watches them. They're in between 13 and 18 years old. There are 14 of them on this trip, and she loves to watch them, loves to listen to them, because she wonders if she, at the age of 38, will ever have a child. She kind of is in doubt about this. She's had 3 boyfriends, and each one was pleasant in his own way and had some promise. 2 of them were young men who just tried so hard to be appropriate, and to always have the right answer. And so there was not much there to love. And then the other one was a right-winger. He was an NRA member. He was a wilderness guide, and he took rich men up into the Canadian wilderness, and he charged them an arm and a leg to take them out there into the woods, because he was at home in the woods. They were not. Nils was his name. Nils. He was Norwegian. He and she took a long canoe trip up in the Boundary Waters area, and he knew his way around. He was at home there. And then they spent a week in Boston once, which was when she almost fell in love with him, because he was so needy in the big city. He desperately needed her. He was at home in the woods, but he was stranger in Boston, because he was a gunman. He needed to have a pistol on him at all times, and this makes you uneasy in a big city. So they had to drive. They couldn't fly, and he just was bothered by the voices of people all around him. He was completely helpless in Boston. It was very nice to be with him there and to lie in bed with him and to put her face into the crook of his neck and to put her arm across his chest and to breathe along with him. Breathing was really wonderful. Talking was a problem, but breathing was good. No, they drove all the way out to Boston, and he could not even consider going to Europe, which he wanted to do, to Wales and to Ireland and to Scotland, because he couldn't be without a gun. He just couldn't. So that was out of the question. And she loves to talk about theology, and this did not interest him in the least. So Nils's his religion was individualism, really. He was once a member of a militia group that would get together out in the north woods of Minnesota, and they would train in the north woods, 40 guys in Army surplus, and they're running around, and they enjoy sneaking around and outmaneuvering an imaginary enemy, as we did when we were 12 years old, and talking on walkie-talkies and so forth. But in the end, he was not comfortable with the idea of people agreeing with him as these militia people did. It just rubbed him the wrong way, whereas he loved Liz because he knew that she was a liberal Lutheran, and it excited him to be near her and to sense her disapproval. And once he told her that he liked to imagine that she was his mother, who was a school teacher and who was always correcting him. And that's what sort of killed the romance, was that much too interesting confession. And once he told her that, then she was done with it. It was just too complicated. But she misses him now and then, especially when she goes up into the woods with these kids and in their canoes, because he was so at home. Nothing perplexed Nils out in the woods. He was like a deer out in the woods. He was so graceful and so quick and sort of stupid, but still, smart about the things that he needed to be smart about. The first night they were out on the canoe trip, they had their first campfire, and they lit the logs, and the flames came up, and the sparks flew in the air, and the smoke drifted around, and the kids all leaned against each other. They're so sweet and so kind, and this is their favorite time of day. They complain in the morning and about the food and the canoeing and so on. But the campfire at night, they love, and they sang Kumbaya, and it so moved them, such sweet kids. Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh, Lord, Kumbaya. And they're on the verge of tears, these sensitive children, and so she sings her verse. Someone's farting, Lord, don't come by here. Someone's farting, Lord, don't come by here. Okay, they're done now, come by here. Oh, Lord. They love to sing. They're Lutheran, especially in the dark. They just love to sing. They love to sing. Children of the Heavenly Father's, safely in His bosom gather, nesting bird nor star in heaven, such a refuge e'er was given. They love to sing in harmony. Liz went to college, and some of her teachers back then were big in the civil rights movement. They were Jewish guys from New York, and they'd gone down to Mississippi and Alabama, and they were so deeply into it. And she figured out after a while that what they loved about it was the singing. They were not lawyers, they were singers. And their parents were agnostics. And so when they got to sing We Shall Overcome and Oh Freedom and I Shall Not Be Moved, these songs, these hymns were returning them to this tribal past that they had never known. They loved the music part of the civil rights movement. Oh, these Lutheran kids sing, and they look into the fire, and they get very sweet and very emotional. And then Liz says to them, okay, now if someone has a story and you'd like to share it with the rest of us, here is your chance. And they're a little shy. And one of them says, you tell a story. You tell a story. And they all say, yes, you tell a story. And she says, well, what would you like tonight? You want what, the prodigal son? You want the parable of the vineyard? What do you want? The loaves and the fishes, or walking on water? What? No, they say, tell us about your favorite boyfriend. The sex life of the pastor. A matter of great curiosity among Lutherans, and she thinks about Nils right away. I mean, how lean he was, and how good he smelled, how clean he was. He would take a bath out in the woods twice a day. He would walk into the water, even when it was chilly. He would walk in with a bar of soap, naked, and she would walk in with him, and he would soap himself, and then he would soap her, and they would rinse off, and they would lie on the rocks in the sun, and they would dry off, and then they would make love. He's so much on her mind when she's out there in the woods with the kids. So she told the story of Nils. Edited, of course, but she told how she met him in upstate New York. She was at this Episcopal convent, and she was assigned to go into town to get groceries, and she did, and this old pickup truck that the convent had broke down, and here was this man, and he fixed it. A classic story, but in this case it was true, and that was Nils. She edited out what happened after that. They went off to his campsite, and they were making out, and they got naked, and she had been with elderly, chaste women for 2 weeks who loved to meditate and to pray, and the idea of being naked with a man was so thrilling to her that she did not hesitate. She did not tell this to the children. She said that he was in the Navy. He was on a secret mission, and she made him a terrific marksman, though he was not one. And she said that they took trips together, and that much was true. And so one of the girls, she said, well, did you and him ever, She said, Michelle, first of all, it's did you and he ever? And yes, we did. I won't lie to you, we did. And that's why you need to listen to me when I say, wait. And the girls went, woo! And she told how she and Nils liked to play cribbage in the nude in his tent out in the woods, and how this was kind of their substitute for conversation. And he loved Armagnac, and he could recite the poems of Robert W. Service and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. As he paddled his canoe, he could recite Poe's The Raven and The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. He said to his friend, if the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, hang a lantern loft in the belfry arch of the North Church Tower as a signal light, and so on. She told all of this story about Nils, and she told how he took rich men out into the Canadian woods to go hunting and fishing. These were tycoons, these were billionaires, these were CEOs, and when they got out into the woods, they were like little boys again, and he was their father, and they liked this, and they would, without a thought, tip him 10, 15 grand for a week in the woods. She told the truth about this, and then she didn't like where this story was going. It was leading up to the present day, and one of the kids said, so do you still think about him? And then she killed him off. She didn't want to continue the story, so she killed him off. She said, no, he died. He was on a camping trip with these men, and they were on a lake, and this bear came and attacked them and bit a man very badly. And Nils drove the bear away, and the bear went into the lake. And because the bear had tasted human blood, Nils felt that he needed to kill the bear. So he took a knife and he swam out there, and he got on the bear's back, and he plunged the knife into the bear, and the bear turned, and he wrapped his front paws around Nils. As he died, he got Nils in a bear hug, and they sank down to the bottom of the lake, and he drowned, which was all a lie, but it was a good lie, and it served the purpose, and it brought the story to an end. And these children were all in awe. They said, have you had a boyfriend since? No, she said. After Nils, there was nobody else for me. And they sat and they watched the flames die down, and they sang, abide with me, fast falls the eventide, the darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. And they got into the tent, and they fell asleep. All of the kids fell asleep, and she listened to them breathing, and she felt happy about having killed him. She loves these kids. This is her life now. She realizes that, and it's not a bad life. Not a bad life. The kids never get older. They're always 13 to 18. They're always these same sweet Lutheran kids. She has them before they go off and get arrogant and mess up their lives. She has them when they're so nice. This is her life. It's good enough. And then she fell asleep. And that's the news from Lake Wobegon, where all the women are strong, all the men are good looking, and all the children are above average.
It seems to me you seem to be in love with someone else, and though I know it's true, it doesn't make me blue. You think I'd grieve if you would me off your list. But when you're going, just go knowing you're never gonna be missed. I had someone else before I had you, and I'll have someone after you're gone. Be gone, be gone, be gone. A sweetheart or streetcar, don't worry me, there'll soon be another along. You needn't stay, go any day. I've got a swinging door in my heart that swings either way. I had someone else before I had you, and I'll have someone after you're gone. Don't want no bunkity 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 bunk. Pack all your junkity 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 junk. Won't take you long. Right now you're standing in the middle of your trunk. Did you hear me? I had someone else before I had you, and I'll have someone after you're gone. And not just one someone, I'll have someone after he's gone. You're gone, 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 you're gone.
The DiGiallonardo Sisters, Nadia, Daniela, and Christine, Mr. Rob Fisher, here at the piano. Oh, let's come in here with a word now from Fritz. Fritz Electronics. Everything that you need is on the Fritz. Yes, the internet is so much a part of our lives, isn't it? And people sometimes feel a little bit helpless when it comes to the internet. But Fritz is there. Fritz is here to help you when the internet becomes an enemy.
All right, I was campaigning at a senior's residence down in Arizona, and somebody handed me a jalapeno pepper, and I took a bite of it just as I almost stepped on somebody's helper dog, and some pepper juice went in my eye, and I threw my arms out so I would not fall. And that was when somebody took a picture of me that is now out there on the internet. And it looks like I have totally lost my marbles, and I am about to attack an elderly man in a wheelchair. Is it possible to get that picture out of circulation?
Yes, embarrassing moments happen to everyone, even candidates for president. And now, thanks to Fritz Electronics, there is hope for internet dignity.
Okay, here's a good one, okay? So it was like this. A few years ago, I was doing a benefit for my good friend Rudy Giuliani, and I put on a tutu and a blonde wig, okay? And a bra. And I was singing Let Me Entertain You when this big dog came up behind me and sniffed me, okay? And I gotta tell you, my voice went very, very high. I mean, tremendously high. And a video of this has been making its way around the Christian evangelical groups, okay? And did I mention that I'm carrying Roy Cohn on my back here, piggyback? Crazy. Anyway, I was. What can I do to get rid of this thing?
Fritz Electronics now offers Intervac. Just send us the image you want deleted. We focus in on one distinguishing feature, such as the jalapeno pepper or the tutu, and it's gone. And it will never, ever return.
That is fantastic, incredible. You know, I've got a few tweets that I sent out that may have been misconstrued. I don't know.
It will not delete words. I'm sorry, only images.
Won't delete the tweets.
No,
okay.
Just pictures.
I mean, I was shaking hands with folks at a campaign thing. This young woman came up in a T-shirt that said Arkansas on the front. Guess what my pal did?
It was real embarrassing. I pointed to it and I laughed, and from the angle of the camera, The photograph looks like
We can take care of that, Mr. President, really.
That's good.
Intervac, embarrassing pictures, gone, thanks to Fritz Electronics. Hey, Christine DiGiallonardo. You promised you'd sing a duet with me here tonight, and I got to choose. This was my choice.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am alone. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home.
When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness appears and the night draws near and the day is past and gone, at the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am lost. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Thank you, Christine. Hello?
Oh, Dwayne, honey, it's your mother.
Hello.
Remember me, honey? Hi, honey. I didn't catch you in the middle of something, did I now?
No.
I mean, you're not eating lunch or
I'm done.
anything.
No,
I mean,
no,
I
I
can
just,
always call you back now,
No, I was
honey.
singing a song. That's all. It's
Oh,
still done
you
now.
were singing a song
Yeah,
now.
I'm
Well,
here
isn't
at,
that nice,
here
huh?
at Tanglewood here.
Oh,
with,
well, are you visiting a friend
well,
now,
I'm here,
honey?
you know, for the music and,
Oh,
and so
didn't
on.
you used to know a cellist down
I was
there,
a
honey?
violist, Mom, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
right. But why not a cellist, honey? I love the cello.
No, I know.
Yeah, are you still seeing her then?
Yeah, I am, yes, Listen, thanks for calling. Is there something that you called about?
Yeah,
or?
well, all right. Listen now. It's your dad.
Whoa.
All right, now I just want you to talk to him, okay?
Well, what's going on there?
Well, he put a big sign up in the front yard, okay? Make America Great Again.
Oh, boy. Really?
Yes, really.
Okay.
Well, actually, 2 of them.
Oh, no.
They're big, illuminated with reflectors.
Oh, boy.
Okay?
Well, let me talk to him then.
All right, hold on for a second. Hank,
Okay.
Hank, come take the phone now. Take it. Don't drop it. Take it. You dropped it now.
Hello?
Drop it now. Dwayne, honey, you
Yes,
still there?
I'm here, yes,
Okay,
right.
here now. Here's your dad. He wants to talk to you
All
now.
right.
No thanks to you, Hank.
Okay,
Go,
all
talk.
right.
Take, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, what's going on then?
Oh, I'm just out here at Tanglewood. Here,
Oh.
just, going to concerts and stuff.
Oh, yeah. See, I heard that Brian Wilson did a concert there.
Yeah, he was
recently.
here.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved his music,
Yeah.
back in the 60s there.
Yeah.
That was great. Get around,
Right.
get around. I'm getting bored
Right.
driving up and down the same old strip.
Right. Good song.
Great
Good song.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so, at Tanglewood. How's it going
I'm
then?
fine. How are you?
Oh,
Well, what do I know? What?
I'm just
yeah.
doing my best here. That's
Right. Okay.
So, you called about the signs.
Yeah, I heard they were kind of big.
Well, you might
Yeah.
as well make them big enough for people to
Yeah,
read.
I
Otherwise,
suppose it's.
why put them up?
It's just the.
What? What? You don't want America to be great, or?
Well, it's the again. The past tense. I
You-
think
you-
America is great.
You don't think America?
Maybe
ever-
we don't agree about what great means, but
You like the other countries pushing us around.
Well, like who?
Well, like all of them. The China, Japan, Iran, Uruguay.
Uruguay.
We're
really?
getting the short end of that deal. That's all. Yeah.
Who's talking
Everybody
about
knows
Uruguay?
it now, and the
What?
Muslims, the Mexicans, all of that.
Well, what about it?
Got weak people running the economy in the country, and we need somebody strong.
All right, Hank,
What?
Hank, give me the dang phone right
Okay,
now.
look, I gotta go, son.
Okay.
Right now, give it to me.
All right, thanks.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks,
All right,
Dad.
here
Bye.
We go, here we go. All
Bye.
right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for doing that now,
Sure.
honey. Gosh, I am so worried about him. If his candidate loses, he says he's moving to Scotland now.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think Scotland would be at the right place.
Yeah, well, anyway, honey, if you're having a good time out there, don't feel you have to come back for my big 4th of July picnic now.
No,
honey.
I'm coming back.
No,
Mom, don't
honey,
worry.
well, only if you want to.
No, I want
it
to,
is.
Mom.
It's Aunt Gladys's birthday. She's 95.
Right.
Coming from the nursing home. So let me know if you can't
No,
come.
I'll be there, Mom.
I know,
okay?
but if you change your mind,
No, I'm
honey,
not gonna change my mind,
cancel the picnic.
I'll be there.
And I will tell Aunt Gladys, probably take her to the
No, no, no.
ER. Okay.
I'll be there.
All right.
Listen-
Well, whatever, honey. Okay, honey. Now listen. Wait a
Mom,
minute.
I've got to go.
I know.
I've got to read the credits.
I know,
okay?
but before
Okay.
you go, I gotta tell
That's
you I
our
love
show
you.
from the Koussevitzky
Okay,
Music
bye-bye,
Shed at
honey.
Tanglewood in Lenox, Massachusetts. Our producer, technical director is Sam Hudson. Our director is Dan Rolls. The show was written by Sarah Bellum, and our broadcast transmission engineer is Thomas Schweitz. Our lighting designer, Janice Kaiser. Stage managers, Albert Webster and Ken Evans. Our house sound engineer out in the house, Mr. Tony Axtell, doing a great job tonight. Music librarians, Matty Calhoun and Catherine Slesher. Managing director, Kate Gustafson. Marketing director, David O'Neill. Production assistants, Bunky Runzer and Alan Freckman. Script supervisor, Olivia Pelham. And our researchers, Holly Harden. Web and video guys, Ben Miller. Our tour wrangler is Deborah Beck. Special thanks to the wonderful folks here at Tanglewood for bringing us here for the last 17 years. We are grateful. Our music director here at the piano, Mr. Rich Dworsky, with Chris Siebold on guitar, Richard Kriehn there, Larry Kohut back on the bass, and Jonathan Dresel. Sue Scott, Tim Russell, Fred Newman, our sound effects man. Thank you, Heather Masse, Rob Fisher, and the DiGiallonardo Sisters. Thank you so much. You all.
Well, your love keeps on lifting, higher, higher and higher. And so your love keeps on lifting, higher and higher. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. Then you came, and he soon departed. You'll never show his face again. I said you love. Your love keeps lifting me.
Keeps on lifting me.
Keeps on lifting me. Lifting me higher and higher.
I said your love
Keeps lifting me. Keeps on lifting me.
keeps on
Lifting me higher and higher.
Thank you, Tanglewood. Thank you all for coming. Good night, everybody. Heather Masse, the DiGiallonardo Sisters, Richard Dworsky, Rob Fisher. Good night from Tanglewood. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. And my love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds. It is an ever-fixed mark, the marriage of true minds. Grasshopper sitting on a railroad track, sing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. Picking at his teeth with a carpet tack, sing Polly Wolly Doodle all the day. I hate to see that evening sun go down. Oh, I hate to see that evening sun go down. The woman I love, she just left this town. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Oh, beautiful for patriots' dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. American songs that I sang to 2,000 Norwegians on Wednesday in the big garden in the middle of Oslo, behind the American ambassador's residence. Done laid around, done played around this old town too long, and it feels like I've gotta travel on. Oh, summer's almost gone, winter's coming on. Gotta travel, gotta remember the words before I can sing the rest of it. Oh, I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left. The weather, it was dry. The sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. Oh, I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night when everything was still. I thought I saw Susanna, she was coming down the hill. The buckwheat cake was in her mouth, the tear was in her eye. Says I'm coming from the south, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. When I woke up this morning, she was gone, solid gone. Ah, when I woke up this morning, she was gone, solid gone. I used to love to watch her do the western swing, the two-step and the buck and wing. When I woke up this morning, she was gone, solid gone. Yeah, when I woke up this morning, she was gone. Oh, play it, boys. Woo. Whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa. Let's do a Carter family song. Oh, Heather Masse, let's do some Carter family. Boom, 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 boom. We did this in that movie with Bob Altman. Remember that?
My bark of life was tossing down the troubled street of time. When first I saw your smiling face, and youth was in its pride. Oh, I'll never forget wherever I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you have been that friend to me.
As I look past, across the past,
across life's troubled sea, I smile to think of all I've seen. You've been a friend to me.
oh,
I'll never forget wherever I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I had a friend, you have been that friend to me.
oh, if I had to choose a second duet to sing with you, Christine, it would have been this song right here. Remember this song?
I do,
We
I
sang
do.
this years ago.
Highway 90, the jobs are gone. We kept our garden, we set the sun. This is the only place on earth blue bonnets grow, and once a year they come and go. And there's old house here by the road. And when we die, we say we'll catch some blackbird's wing, and we will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue bonnet spring.
And when we die, we say we'll
Catch some blackbird's wing, and we will fly away together come some sweet blue bonnet spring.
Oh, you didn't learn Western songs in the schools of Brooklyn, New York, did you really? DiGiallonardo Sisters, I'm not sure. Oh, we love these songs in Minnesota because we were boys. We carried cap pistols. I only had one cap pistol. Other boys had two, but I had one, and it was on this belt with precious jewels on it, and we bought it from the Montgomery Ward catalog, and so we had a real feeling when we sang when we sing, where the air is so pure and the zephyr so free and the breeze is so balmy and light, that I would not exchange my home on the range for all of the city so bright. Chorus. Often at night, when the heavens are bright, with the light from the glittering stars, have I stood there amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. A cappella here. Wonderful songwriter Bruce Phillips. Utah Phillips came from out in Utah. He wrote that gorgeous song. I don't remember much of it. I just remember the I remember loving you back when the world was new, and I think you loved me too. I remember loving you. Do you know that chorus? I remember loving you back when the world was new, and I believe you love me too. I remember loving you.
I don't know that.
We sang this song so many times. Jean Redpath used to sing this song on our show. She came from Scotland, but she loved American gospel music. I think you all know this chorus. Let not your heart be troubled. These tender words I hear, and resting on His goodness, I lose my doubts and fears. Though by the path He leadeth, let one step I may see. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Then the chorus. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. How does that other verse go? Why should I be discouraged? Why should the shadows come when Jesus is my portion? Heaven is my home. Oh, the other words are there somewhere, and someday they'll come back to me. His eye is on the sparrow, could I not remember Van Morrison's name on our show tonight? It just left me somehow. I love that song.
These are the days of the endless dancing. These are the decks on the summer night. These are the days of the true romancing. I'm holding you oh so tight. These are the days by the sparkling river, His timely grace and our treasure find. This is the love of the one great magician, turn water into wine. These are the days of the dangerous favor, and we must enjoy as we can. Well, these are the days that will last forever. You got to hold them in your heart.
Oh, have we ever done a Tom Waits song? We did do a Tom Waits song.
We have, yeah.
You want me to do it in a Tom Waits voice, or
No. No, I think I like your voice better for this one.
Well, I come calling in my Sunday best. Well, I come calling in my Sunday best. Yes, I come calling in my Sunday best. Ever since I put your picture in a frame, I'm gonna love you till the wheels fall off. Oh yeah, I love you, baby, and I always will. I love you, baby, and I always will. I love you, baby, and I always will. Ever since I put your picture in a frame. Ever
someday I'll come back to Tanglewood. Someday I'll come back to Tanglewood.
Someday I'll come back to
Tanglewood, and I'll bring your picture
in a frame.
I love you, baby,
and I always will.
I love you,
baby, and I always will. I love you, baby, and I always will. Ever since I put your picture in a frame.
Ever since
I put your picture in the frame.
Oh, won't you stay?
Stay a while with your old one. Don't ever stray. Stray so far from your old one. 'Cause the world is so cold. Don't care nothing for your soul that you share with your own one. Don't rush away from your own one. Just one more day, just one more day with your own one. 'Cause the water's so cold, don't care nothing for your soul, but you share with your own one. There's a stranger, and he's standing at your door. Might be your best friend, might be your brother, you may never know. I'm going back, I'm going back to my old one. Come back to talk a while with my old one. 'Cause the water's so cold, don't care nothing for your soul, you share with your own one. Would you share? You share with your
I want to talk to this man down front here. I have seen you at every Tanglewood show for 17 years.
I've been to all 17 of them.
15 of them.
17, all 17.
17.
Yep.
I saw you once in New York. You were at Town Hall.
I was there at Town Hall. I saw you at Wolf Trap. I saw you in Waterbury.
I've been waiting for 17 years to ask you, what is your name?
My name is Atul.
Your name is?
Atul.
Atul. What you doing in America? How's America doing for you?
It's great. Well, it's great as it is, and we're hoping for a good president in November. I got my Hillary pin on.
All right. So what you get to do in America, Atul?
I am an engineer.
An engineer? I guessed you were an engineer. There's just something orderly and logical about you. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Pleasure to meet you at last. Atul.
Joseph's face was black as the night, and a pale yellow moon shone in his eyes. His path was marked by the stars in the southern hemisphere, and he walked his days under African sky. This is the story of how we begin to remember. This is the powerful pulsing of love in the veins. After the dream of falling, calling your name out. These are the roots of rhythm, and the roots of rhythm remain.
I've never had a hard hat in the front row of any Prairie Home Companion.
In 2003, I fell off a chair.
You fell off a chair? That's why you were wearing a hard hat?
You said, don't stand on chairs, Mary, not folding chairs. And you said, is there a doctor in the house? And they took me to the hospital, and there I am, and I'm okay. And I've come ever since. And I love you.
How many years ago was this, Mary?
2003.
2003. So, our lawyer, George Sheenshank, is in the audience here. I assume that our liability has expired for...
It's okay.
Are you okay? Your head is okay?
Well, my husband and I might not think so, but...
Okay. Can you name the starting lineup of the Boston Red Sox?
Oh.
Okay, how about the 87 counties of...
Carlton Fisk,
Well, that's quite a memory you have there. Okay. So what do you get to do for a living, Mary?
I'm a retired teacher.
A retired teacher. Oh, isn't that the best? Oh, it's the best. No wonder you're so happy. Oh, good. Mary, who hit her head.
You gotta give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You gotta laugh a little, cry a little, until the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, we got the world in all its charms. And when the world is through with us, we got each other's arms. We gotta laugh a little, cry a little, until the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love.
Oh, you DJs, hey, you got to sing that. Weren't you going to do this song on the show? Will you love me tomorrow? You know this, don't you? Sure you do.
Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight of love is in your eyes. But will you love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting
there was a song that we were going to sing. We were going to sing this, Heather and I, when we walked out on the lawn, out on the grass, and somehow it just escaped our attention. I think you all know this. We can pick it up sort of in the middle of the... We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is land. And when we say,
we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, okay.
What's the first line? First line.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat and sure smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the train. Oklahoma, every night, my honey lemon, I sit alone and talk and watch a hawk making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is red. And when we say, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma,
Remember when Randy Newman was on the show? Old guy at the piano. Sweet, sweet old guy. He wrote this song. Did we sing this with him?
I don't think I was on that show.
No! I thought you were on all of them. You're the only person I remember.
I'll be home. I'll be home. Wherever you may wander, and wherever you may roam, you come back. I'll be waiting here for you. No one else will ever love you the way I do. I'll be here to comfort you and see you through. I'll be home. I'll be home. I'll be home.
Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away. Don't you know that song? You didn't hear that? Really? Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away. Oh, we have to sing a song here for any of the Baptists or the Lutherans or the Methodists who are here in our midst. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, first songs that we ever did on Prairie Home Companion was Lulabelle and Scotty, an old radio duet from Illinois, I believe, and they wrote this song. Bill Hinckley and Judy Larson sang this song early days of our show. The sweetest songs belong to lovers in the gloaming. The saddest, sweetest words I've heard were, and I've forgotten the words. How can I ever forget the words? The sweetest songs belong to lovers in the gloaming. The sweetest days are the days that used to be. The saddest words I ever heard were words of parting. When you said, sweetheart, remember me. Here's the chorus, you can learn this. Remember me when the candle lights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It'll be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. You told me once that you'd be mine forever, and I'd be yours till the end of eternity. But all those vows are broken now, and we can never be the same, except in memory. Here's your chorus again. Remember me when the candle lights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It'll be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. A brighter face may take my place when we're apart, dear. Another love, a love more bold and free. But in the end, fair weather friends, they'll break your heart, dear, or they won't. If they do, sweetheart, remember me. Last chorus, last chant. Remember me when the candle lights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It was so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. I guess you didn't hear the announcement before. No videotaping of the.
I'm sorry, Garrison.
That's all right. That's all right. The more videotaping, the better. No better. What's your name?
I'm William from Williamstown.
William from?
Williamstown.
From Williamstown. How lucky for you.
I'm a dairy farmer, and
you're a dairy farmer.
Yeah, and I've got a great investment for you.
How many heads?
450.
450. That's a real farm.
That's right. I'm the animal guy. I'm looking for Lely robots, so I got a great investment for you.
What's the investment?
To keep the family business going. It's been going for 100 years.
You've got. Do you have descendants who want to work hard twice a day, 3 times a day? No.
No, that's why we need the robots.
Okay. I see. Robots. Robots who are related to you, or?
Robots that are very expensive.
Really? How much do they cost?
They're $200,000 a piece.
Really?
I need 4 of them.
You need 4 to milk 450 head.
Well, no, we milk 240.
I see.
from day old to mature cows. We have 450.
You start tearing up little slips of paper here, William, of Williamstown, and just put a number, a cash figure, and then we'll see how many investors we have right here who want to invest in dairy robots. Well, it's an interesting group of people come to the show. I wish I'd gotten to meet more of them over the years. They could have told us a lot.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love with something new. Though I never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you
Such a gorgeous summer night here under the shed here at Tanglewood. Heather Masse. These people know the words to this song. They know this song. They'd love to sing this.
Sing it with me, okay?
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up and see. Then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. But till that morning, ain't nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by. Summertime
We do have some Red Sox fans here tonight. We got to sing their song. Got to sing their song.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and soon became the summer. Who'd believe you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe it never
Ooh, you got to do more. You got to go back and do the chorus. And they will sing it twice as well.
I think we want to touch hands again.
think so.
Hands. Can we go right to hands? Touching hands. Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you. Sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never
Quiet down, calm down, restrain yourself, be still, form orderly rows. Oh, do you know this Children Behave?
Children,
How does that go?
children behave. That's what they say when we're together. And watch how you play. They don't understand, and so we're running just as fast as we can, holding on to one another's hands. Those hands again. Trying to get away into the night, and then you put your arms around me and we tumble to the ground, and then we say, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. That's not true. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound.
Like 10,000 hearts beating all at the same time. Not really alone.
Oh, when the sun beats down and melts the tar upon the roof, and your shoes get so hot, you wish your tire free but fireproof. But by the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah, on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. people walking in love. We'll be falling in love under the love. Woo!
Oh, the boardwalk. Oh, the boardwalk. Oh, the boardwalk. Oh, the boardwalk. Are there any more basses in the front row? Are any more basses in the front row? How many basses do I have back here? Oh, welcome to our show. Where is the bass? Where is the bass? Are you a bass? Now you're a bass. So whoa, 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 boom, boom, boom. Kind of getting out of hand here, but let's get a little more out of hand here. And
Memphis, she tried to take me upstairs for a ride. Keep me right across her shoulder, 'cause I just can't seem to drink it off my mind. She said, oh, it's all women. Give me the honky-tonk blues. Divorcee in New York City. She tried to put up some kind of a fight. Later, then she covered me with roses. When she blew my nose, and then she blew my mind. Everybody sing it. She's a honky-tonk woman. Give me the honky-tonk blues. One more part. She's a honky-tonk woman. Give me the honky-tonk blues.
it's the Lutheran women. It's the Lutheran women. Give me the New Testament blues. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, we have to sing a hymn after that just to have young people here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My Father, how long? My Father, how long? My Father, how long this poor sinner suffer here, and it won't be long. It won't be long, and it won't be long. This poor sinner suffer here. Oh, it's our encore. It's our encore. Oh, it's our encore. And we're having such a good time. But it won't be long. It won't be long. Oh, it won't be long. These poor sinners suffer here. Oh, you gotta let me me sing one more song with the DiGiallonardo.
You can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man who held your hand beneath the pale moonlight. But don't forget who's taking you home, and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Oh, I know that the music's fine like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun. Laugh and sing, while we're apart. Don't give your heart to anyone. And don't forget who's taking you home, and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when we touch? I will never ever let you go. Oh, I love you oh so much. You can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. If he asks if you're all alone, can he take you home? You must tell him no. 'Cause don't forget who's taking you home, and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when we touch? I will never ever let you go. Oh, I love you oh so much. You can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. If he asks if you're all alone, can he take you home? You must tell him no. 'Cause don't forget who's taking you home, and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. So darling, save the last dance for me. Oh darling, save the last dance for me.
You girls are too young to remember this song, but we used to sing this song back in the early days of the show when there were more older people who listened to the show. And not all of these young people here. Ooh, once in the dear dead days beyond recall, when on the world the mists began to fall, out of the dreams that rose in happy throng, low to our hearts love sang an old sweet song. And in the dusk, where fell the firelight's gleam, softly it wove itself into our dream. All you older people sing now.
Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the flickering shadows softly
give the musicians a rest and sing that chorus a cappella. Just a song at twilight.
When the lights are low and the twinkling shadows softly come and go, though the heart be weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes love's own song, comes love's own sweet song.
We have to hear our mandolin guitarist play, sing a little gospel song.
To Canaan's land I'm on my way, where the soul never dies. My darkest night will turn to day, where the soul never dies. No sad farewell, no tear-dimmed eyes, where all is love and the soul never dies. The roses blooming there for me, where the soul of man never dies. And I will spend eternity where the soul never dies. No sad farewell, no tear-dimmed eyes, where all is love and the soul never dies. No sad farewell, no tear-dimmed eyes, where all is love and the soul never dies, and the soul never dies.
May the good Lord bless and keep you and bring comfort to your heart. And may you all remember where your cars are parked. May your gas tank not be empty or your battery be dead. And I hope you go right home and then go straight to bed. As your father must have told you, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. And if you forgot to fill your tank, then I guess you'll have to walk. But remember, you're here at Tanglewood and surrounded by sweet folk. So if you should have to hitchhike, well, just try to remember a good joke. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Woo, 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 woo. Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go.
Fisher. Good night, Rob Fisher. Good night, Rob Fisher. At the keyboard of the Hammond B3. Good night, Richard Dworsky. Good night, Richard Dworsky. Good night, Mr. Dworsky. Play a little solo in the mode of Mozart. Mr. Siebold. Good night, Mr. Siebold. Good night, Mr. Siebold. Play this solo like you were playing in a Chicago bar. Good night, Mr. Richard Kriehn. Good night, Larry Kohut. Good night, Jonathan Dresel. Thank you, good night, and good night. Play a chorus here, boys. From this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine. Share. Brightened our pathways a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Just remember I'm the one who has loved you so true. Oh, from Tanglewood we head back to the Midwest, except the DiGiallonardos go back to New York. Heather Masse goes back
to the mountains, and you all go back, I hope you know where. Valley, they say,
you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. Sure, they say you are taking the sunshine, which has brightened your pathway a while.
Irene,
good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
quit your rambling, people, and quit your gambling. Stop staying out this late at night. Go home to your families and your dogs and your gerbils. Go home to your firesides bright.
Good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Oh, that concludes tonight's encore. It's the longest we've ever done in 17 years. Oh, we have set a new encore record. Thanks to all of you, my dear. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Amen. Everybody now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris Siebold. Amen. Mr. Kriehn. Amen. Mr. Dworsky. Mr. Kohut. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Oh, Heather Masse. Oh, Nadia, Daniela, and Christine DiGiallonardo.
Pardon me if I'm sentimental when we say goodbye. Don't be angry with me should I cry. As you dream, yet I'll dream a little dream of days gone by. Now and then there's a fool such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. You taught me how to love, and now you say that we are through. I'm a fool, but I love you, dears, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I was over in Oslo and I got to tell these people about this radio show that I started years ago. It was named in honor of the Norwegians who had settled in the Red River Valley of Minnesota. And they came over, as many immigrants did, planning to go back to Norway to make their money and then return. Because they found themselves in this strange, flat place, North Dakota, and they found themselves in the midst of a language in which they could never be as smart and funny as they had been back home. And so they were planning to leave. But there was a young man who drowned in the Red River of the North. And they were so touched by this death of a 17-year-old boy in this new country. And they could not bear the idea of shipping his body back to a land he had never seen. And so they buried him in a graveyard that they started. It was their first graveyard. It's in Moorhead, Minnesota. You can go find it. And it's called A Prairie Home Cemetery. And this was where they decided to stay. They decided to stay because somebody died. And it just touched them with the delicacy and the fragility of life. It's a beautiful little cemetery. It's not worth going out to Moorhead to see it, but you know, if you happen to be on Interstate 90, you know, you could always pull off and see it. But it's a beautiful little cemetery. Our Prairie Home, and there's the cast iron gate up above it. It's not too far from Concordia College, where we did shows early, and I saw that graveyard. And I know it's odd to name a show after a cemetery, but Norwegian people are odd people. They just have an odd sense of humor. Pardon me, I'm sentimental as days go by. You taught me how to love, and now you say that we are through. I'm a fool, but I love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I. What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? Gone is the romance that was so divine, 'tis broken and cannot be mended. You must go your way and I must go mine, now that our love dream has ended. Sing it, girls.
What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do?
a night at Tanglewood, and this crowd was standing down by the stage. Oh, they sang so well, and also they sang so good. And then it was time to turn the page.
What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? What'll I do?
Ross is kissing you, isn't he?
Yes, I do. With just a photograph to tell my troubles to. When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do?
Happy trails to you.
Until we meet again, happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails.